So here we have the Parkzone Radian, and I recently purchased this. I've been looking out for one because they've just got such a big following online, and I was lucky enough to pick this one up nearby. And just wanted to take you guys through a couple of mods I did to get it neatened up ready for flying. First thing is that this section here was very sloppy when I first got it, particularly in this kind of movement. That was going to compromise its stability, particularly when it's a little bit windy. So I popped in some lengths of carbon. I've run them alongside the tube that has the control in it, and this has made it, the back section there, perfectly stiff. So there's no flex whatsoever. The next thing I need to do, I'm not rushing into it, I'll fly it first because I'm only intending to use this for light wind conditions, but just that kind of wobble there, I'm going to stiffen up maybe by running some carbon rod up through here. But for now it's a whole lot improved. It's pretty good, pretty stiff there. The other thing I've done is something simple. It's just some electrical tape along the leading edge of the wings, just to clean that up, protect against bumps, makes it a bit more rigid, a bit tidier. Now another quite significant change I'm hoping to make is to use a 2S battery instead of a 3S. So for me this plane's going to be a floater, a real light wind floater, thermal hunting, so I'm chasing as light as possible. I've got this much smaller battery than the standard. It's a 2S 850 milliamp hour. So yeah, here's the battery comparison. This is a typical battery, and this is the one I'm hoping to be able to use. 63.5, 66.35, 98. So we're saving about 40 grams. And it will save me also putting tail weight on. So I'm reducing the nose weight, don't have to put tail weight on, which you typically do for this plane. And it should balance better and it'll end up much lighter. So total flying weight with this battery sits at about 740 grams, significantly lighter than what I've seen any other Radian there. To do that, I had to change the ESC to a 2 to 3S compatible ESC. The stock one isn't compatible with 2S. So here we are, all ready for the maiden flight. It's a beautiful morning, absolutely wind still, just warming up, perfect for a test flight. So I'm starting with quite an aft CG, a bit, I think it's about 90 mil from the leading edge. So it's a bit back from where they recommend, but from what I've read, it's going to be good. And I've got my FlySky FSI 6X here. I've got low rates and high rates set up on this switch. Hopefully I'm covered. So let's do all our checks. Down elevator, up elevator, turn right, turn left. All good. Sweet. Let's go flying. So it's wanting to pitch up when I power on, but it's not bad. Partly probably because I'm running 2S. The 2S is not overpowering it. So it climbs pretty slow on 2S, but it's enough. So let's power off now. Okay, so it needs a bit of down trim. Trim it down a bit. That's better. In the sun. Got to bring my sunnies. That's already flying really nicely trimmed there. A real float to it. Wow, it just hangs up there. Nice circle there. It hangs up, the drop rate, sync rate is amazing. Hanging up there like crazy. very responsive to the controls. An amazing thermal here. This thing is just doubled its height. It's just floating up there. The climb rate was amazing. It's still sitting up there in this thermal. The circling's really locked in, very easy. Still climbing. So yeah, look, that was a very successful flight. Extremely enjoyable to fly. It just hangs up there really well, and the thermals, that's my first experience of catching a really good thermal. And this thing just took off, tripled its height, probably more. It's starting to get out of range, and then come back across, caught a second thermal. Very, very nice, very enjoyable. I'm pretty happy. I think the 2S is enough. If you've got a decent day, you don't actually use the motor that much. And it's just, you can make use of the thermals. So yeah, also the trims were very good. Ended up flying very nicely on its own. Just a bit of down, pushing the nose down a little bit, coming out of the turns to stop it starting to hump up and down. With the CG further back, I've actually, the elevator trim has ended up pretty much level, which is great. I think the only thing I'd do is increase the throw on the rudder a little bit, but that's a minor adjustment. Overall, I'm very happy, recommend to anyone.